One of the topics that we want to cover in this is war. And is there a just reason to go to war? So what does God say about war, right? What does the Bible say? Is the Bible pro-war? Is it against war? I think it's a little bit of both, actually. One of the big themes we see in the Bible is going to war to combat evil, to protect, to defend those who can't defend themselves. In those instances, war is absolutely justified. Is the Bible pro-war to conquer somebody, to enslave people? No, absolutely not. So the Bible is not pro-war there, where war is bad, but where war is necessary and needed, then it is totally pro. And that, again, brings tension. Let's look at World War II. You have the Nazis, and our response there, I would say, was justified to go and combat the Nazis. In that, we can still have injustice. For instance, killing civilians unnecessarily is not just. Waging total war is not just. If you're serving in that military and those things are happening, that creates some conflict. Because as a warrior, we want to wage a just war. We want to know that we're fighting for what's right. And when we see these things happening, we can find ourselves in some sticky situations. And that's where I think we as warriors have to be willing to take a stand. And I realize sometimes that's harder to do when you don't have the bigger picture and you're just following orders. But there are instances where we have to make a choice on what is just and what is not. We go to war and we fight these wars and we have to carry out the policies of our nation. But sometimes those policies aren't right. Sometimes they lead to horrible things. And we struggle with the guilt and the shame of that. So how do we, as believers, serve nations that aren't doing everything right? Should you serve that country? Should you even serve in the military? Those are great questions, and let's take a look at that. In the Bible, we find some really, really good examples. Daniel was a man who deeply loved God, and he served one of the wickedest nations there was. This is the nation of Babylon. They did horrible things. And how he does that is remarkable. He stays true to the morals of his God. Daniel continuously sought to live by God's rules, by God's standards. Daniel was humble and contrite. Daniel prayed for the country. He was honest with his own failings and his own sin. We see that in Daniel 9. So as a serviceman or woman serving in the military or who has already served, it is possible to serve a nation that is not walking with the Lord and stay true to the beliefs that you have that come from the Bible. It's possible to do that and actually be successful. Is it going to be easy? No, it's not going to be easy. None of this stuff's easy, but it's possible. Will you be persecuted? Absolutely. Daniel was thrown in a lion's den, but God honored him. And I'm not saying that you won't be persecuted. You probably will be. In fact, I can tell you from my own experience, being a Christian in the military is difficult and you will be made fun of. You will have people come against you. But it's possible to serve in a way that reflects the morals and the beliefs of the Bible. It's possible to be like Daniel. It's possible to be like another man in the Bible, Obadiah, who served a king who was ruthless, who systematically wiped people out. And yet he found ways to stay true to who God had called him to be. And it's because these men knew who they were. They knew their identity. This is why identity is so important. Knowing who you are, knowing where you have come from, and more importantly, where you're going. We're going to another kingdom where everything is right. And we're learning how to live here in places that cause us to question, and that's okay. We have to stay true to who we are. So the big question, is war just? It depends. When we were talking about murder, we talked about intention, right? The intention in the heart. War is the same way. The intention, what are we trying to accomplish? What is trying to be prevented? What are we fighting against? Determines if it's right or wrong. If the Bible is going to say thumbs up or thumbs down, it comes down to the intention of what we're trying to do. So to wrap things up, while a decision to go to war may be just or unjust, in it, I can be just. I can be a beacon of light and hope for what is just, even if my nation is not just in going to war.